This is Mark Matthew. I'm just here in the streets. I just want to ask some people out here what they think about this very interesting topic which we have of what is dating. Yeah, so catch me on the other side. So you mean like when two people just think of starting a marriage, that is dating? There's no difference between dating and courtship?
Courtship, you have to know each other. Hey, in terms of everything, you know your partner, who your partner is, everything about your partner.
Okay, so many people ask this question, madam, to say, is it right to kiss in a relationship before you are married? So what's your opinion on that?
No, it's not right.
Why?
The reason why you'll be tempted, because they say there's no sex before marriage. Now, when you kiss each other, you'll be tempted to do things that are not allowed in a relationship.
Okay, thank you very much, madam.
You're welcome.
The way I understand dating and courtship, I would say it's one and the same thing. But when dating becomes serious, that's when you say you are in courtship. When you are serious, like to say you want to go into marriage.
In a relationship, when you are dating, sex is allowed.
Now it's not allowed because the way people they take it in a different way. Dating is whereby some people they just take it like they're just playing around with, but dating is whereby you are getting up with a revelation, because you cannot start dating somebody without a revelation. So you
By revelation, you mean?
I mean you need to have a foundation, the reason why you are dating that person. You cannot just date that person without any reason.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sila Green.
All right, thank you, sir.
So those are the opinions of the people concerning the issue of dating. Thank you very much. This is Mark Matthew, KTV. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much for those views. Thank you so much, Mark Matthews.
So instead, the don'ts are don't make your date boring. Don't make your date become a misery. You need to set goals for yourself. Make yourself attractive. Look nice. You ask many questions. You compliment each other. You are able to listen to each other. Then you say, now I know this person.
Okay, can you just check in on the do's also and the don'ts?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I believe the do's when you go out on a date, basically, because let me tackle his definition of date.
Date.
Yeah, just a mere outing. I believe you have to ask the right questions, and one of the questions you have to ask basically is background. Background, I think it's very significant in defining the personality of somebody. And sometimes if you don't know the background of someone, it will be very difficult even for you as you build a relationship to understand them. So you have to ask questions about background. Of course, you have to be sensitive, because some people's backgrounds they are quite sensitive, and they may not be open enough to want to share.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand, and perhaps in their trust with time, maybe when they'll be willing that time around to open up, that's when perhaps you can again bring in that issue. That's one of the questions you can ask. And coming to the other issue you can discuss, basically, what drives a relationship, what gives a relationship meaning are your convictions.
Convictions.
So that is the key thing. You have to communicate with your significant other or someone who's contending to take that place. You have to share your convictions about life, convictions about some of us who are men of God, even your convictions about your own calling. You have to share with them. Let that person accept you for who you are, and not just a mere charm of the tongue. And one of the don'ts, basically, when you're dating someone is, someone once said, before you take out any fence, you have to ask yourself why the fence was put there in the first place. So when we are growing up, there are basically boundaries which were set for you and I by our parents. And you have to be very, very careful not to cross those boundaries. No matter how enticing the setting may be, you have to remember, basically, the boundaries that were set to you by your own parents. One of the greatest turnarounds of life sometimes is when you go to college. It's like, you walk away from, that protective nature of parents. You are now, you have all this freedom. That's when many people begin to cross the boundaries that were set by their parents. And that's when basically also their characters begin to deteriorate. In that sense.
Decrease.
Thanks.
Okay, man of God, coming to your position.
Yes.
Now, why is sex before marriage right or wrong?
It's a definite no. Sex in before marriage, if whatever you take, maybe traditionally, the sex before marriage is not allowed.
Why is it
And
not
in the
allowed?
Bible as well, it's not allowed.
Why?
It's because sex is one privilege of marriage. So before you get into marriage, you should not do that kind of thing. Because one,
You're getting to know someone.
you are getting to know somebody, but it does not say that you have to have intimacy.
Everything, you have to know everything, man of God.
No. You have to know, but you leave a room for some parts to know them when you get married. Because there are some things that you have to do when you get married. And when you have sex before marriage, then you are not following the right thing.
You want to see whether the person is fertile or not.
Then you have broken it already. How do you see? Because when somebody, I'll tell you from my experience, traditionally there's something that the elders do, just to check on you people to say, are these people virgins? And then it will be the pride of both parents to experience that, to have a feel that their children are virgins, both male and female. And that is what is very important. In my tradition, they'll put a white bed sheet on your lining. They'll put a white bed sheet just to check on you. Wow. And biblically, again, sex before marriage is not accepted. It's not biblical. You have to avoid that unless you are saying you are already in marriage. But if you are not, avoid sex. Because if you have a feel, like you are saying, you need to know somebody. Okay.
In and out.
For example, in and out. And you have sex and you have feelings for this person. And then you have sex with this person. And then to your expectation, you see the bad part of it. Will you go into marriage? Then the whole motive of getting into a relationship is distorted.
Amazing.
So you are going deeper. There are things that you should not do. When you are still dating each other, there is some things that you are not supposed to do. Don't do what is in marriage. You don't practice what is in marriage. And like you are saying, practice makes perfect. But it's not. What are you practicing? Are you practicing
For marriage?
Or are you practicing to know each other?
For marriage.
For marriage? Yes, wait until the right time.
Amazing. Okay, talking about blood covenant, is it a way of showing commitment or what?
Thank you so much. Basically, the covenant of blood.
Yeah, because we have seen a lot of people now doing that. We have seen youths now doing that. What do you have to say about that?
Looking at the covenant of blood, if you look at the scriptures, basically, it's one thing that we see was basically that was the first covenant that God gave to Abraham. That he has to circumcise himself, and that was the first covenant that Abraham made with God. And I think as much as we know that progressively that was basically revelation, which is progressive, and ultimately we saw that ultimately it was basically the sacrifice of Christ, which God required. But that's just a picture. And I believe Christ paid the ultimate price. And I don't see any need, no matter how committed you are to the other person, no matter how much you love them, I don't think there's any need for you to engage in any blood covenants. Some things, they may look very simple to us, but spiritually they're very significant. And what you may be laying for yourself may actually be a rotten foundation. And ultimately, as you build on your relationship, you discover that basically you've created more problems than solutions to the future that you plan as a couple. So I would advise every youth, please let no one talk you into making a covenant, especially which involves blood. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, There is one of our followers sent a message, and the message says, our address to you, man of God.
Yes.
Is physical force a considerable way of discipline your partner? Is physical force a considerable way of disciplining your partner?
You know, to every sky there is a silver lining.
Yes, sir.
And to every problem there's a solution. So if you say physical force, that's the last resort, and then it's not right. Because physically, if you use force, they are rights. You are infringing the rights of that other person. So if you infringe the rights of other person, you find yourself either you are at the police, or you are answering to some things there maybe at a court, because people have rights. Force, you cannot force anybody. You cannot force, because God gave us the free will. If you're your friend, why are you using force?
But so how should we discipline our partners?
If you have to discipline your partner, it should be dialoguing is the best. Dialoguing is the best. Why is this partner of mine not understanding what I'm trying to put across? Whatever I'm trying to stress, why is she not understanding? First of all, before you get into deeper relationship, you have to know each other. You know that this person is temperamental. Okay? He's got a temper. So instead, okay, this person does not like this. So you have to know each other. When you are doing and you're dating and you're between that time, that's why there's also courtship. It's a period where you should know each other, so that at a certain time, because not in any way, I was not taught not to force anybody, because once you force, they're human rights now, you will end up being in trouble.
Amazing. Amazing.